Hi, good evening. Thank you for being here this evening. We love a packed house, so welcome. Would you please stand for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Wonderful. Well, we get to start off with something pretty special, only happens every couple of years. We're going to begin with swearing in our new board members this evening. We are super lucky to have Judge Alicia Burton here to conduct the swearing in. And I believe David Brower, are you going to lead us through that? Not to put you on the spot, but that's what I was told. So David's in charge of the judge. Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. So we will start with swearing in of Director Bill Gaines.
All right.
Come on down. Raise your right hand. All right. I, Bill Gaines, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington, and will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of Sumner-Bonney Lake School District number 320. I tried to break it down. Of Director of Sumner-Bonney Lake School District number 320 in Pierce County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you. Actually, we can have you come down here, stay down here, and we'll have your family join you. We are grateful that your family has joined, and they're looking at each other like they did not know they had the photo op. But you just go, it's just right there in the front. Next is Director Kevin Lewis.
I, raise your right hand. I, Kevin Lewis, do hereby solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington, and will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of Sumner-Bonney Lake School District number 320, Pierce County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for?
Kevin, do you have family here?
Oh. Okay, we hope everyone is okay. Next is Director Paul Williams.
Paul, raise your right hand. I, Paul Williams.
I, Paul Williams,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington, and will faithfully discharge the duties of Director Sumner-Bonney Lake School District, Pierce County, State of Washington,
to the best of my ability.
Thank you. And we'll get your family to come up for a picture. Judge Burton, thank you for returning to your alma mater and coming back here
Yes.
to do us this honor. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you and congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much and congratulations and welcome. Before we continue, I wanted to make sure we acknowledged our amazing greeters this evening from Eli Hill. We had some smiling faces. If you would be so comfortable, would you mind coming up? We'd love to hear who you are and maybe something that you love about Eli Hill. Welcome. And yes, so festive.
I know.
Welcome, Gina. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having us today. Is this one? Okay. Thank you so much for having us. We had so much fun even preparing for this. We love being with you guys. You've been so supportive. Congratulations, Mr. Gaines. I would like to introduce two of the gentlemen here with us. This is Xander Boldus. He is a senior from Bonnie Lake High School and he attends Eli Hill. When he graduates, he is hoping to study marine biology in college. And I'll let him think on what he loves about Eli. I'm sure everything, right? And then this is Luis Quintero Salazar. He is a sophomore at Sumner High School and Eli Hill. He is enrolled in our academy program. After he graduates, he plans to study mechanics, but he was very specific. He specifically wants to go into sports car engineering. Yes, he's excited about that. For the other two, I'll let them speak for themselves.
Hello. Hello, I'm Max. I'm a junior at Eli Hill and Pierce County Skills Center. My goal is to study animation at college.
Ho ho ho. Hi, my name is Sebastian. I'm a senior at Eli Hill, and I I go to Pierce County Skills Center with Max. But what I do there is I'm in aerospace composites. What I plan to do after high school is I hope to be working for Boeing. Yeah.
Anything you guys love about Eli?
We love everything.
Ah, there it is.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much again for being here this evening and greeting people as they came in. Thanks, Tina. Good to see you. All right. At this time, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Do I have a recommendation to approve the consent items as listed?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes and unanimously. All right, at this time, we get to recognize some pretty amazing staff, superintendent people. And I believe Joel Ani, I believe, is here, the executive director of WASA, to help us recognize a pretty important and amazing person tonight. So thank you, Joel, for being here.
My pleasure, although I didn't think I was going to have to follow the judge and Santa Claus, so I didn't anticipate that.
The bar is high here.
Welcome to Sumner-Bonney.
Board President Marquardt, school board members, and Superintendent Dent. My name is Joel Ani, and I'm the Executive Director of the Washington Association of School Administrators. I really appreciate you honoring my request to take a few minutes of your meeting time this evening to recognize Dr. Dent. But before I do that, I just wanted to share a couple of noticings that I experienced driving in. Well, I'm not going to talk about the traffic driving in, but I got here. But coming into this building, this is it feels different here in terms of kind of this family atmosphere. And from the greetings out front to coming in here, and folks that I'd never met before came up to me and made me feel welcome. And those are little things that don't happen by accident. And that, at least my snapshot of the culture here the last 20 minutes has really been positive in terms of the culture that you have here at Sumner-Bonney Lake. I don't come to a lot of board meetings anymore. I was a school superintendent for 20 years, and so I'm not inclined to go to a lot of board meetings these days. I come on occasions like this to honor our superintendent of the year. But more often than not, I come in, I get a greeting, I sit down in the back and kind of check email and such. And not tonight. People from the community coming up or staff coming up and welcoming me. And so compliments to you. That doesn't happen by accident, I know. And so just a noticing that I wanted to reinforce with you all. As you're aware, Lori was recently honored as the 2024 Washington State Superintendent of the Year by our association. This prestigious recognition is based on 4 criteria: leadership for learning, communication, professionalism, and community involvement. Each year, superintendents from across the entire state are nominated and then submit application for consideration to be selected as the Washington State Superintendent of the Year. A committee comprised of superintendents is assembled by WASA to review and score the applications, ultimately determining our Superintendent of the Year. I've come to know Lori and her work here during her time in Sumner-Bonney Lake. Came to know her initially when she was named superintendent here back in 2016. At the same time, I was serving as a superintendent in the Snoqualmie Valley School District, both districts in the Puget Sound ESD. So I got to know Lori a little bit back in those days. During the past 6 years as executive director at WASA, Lori's actually been on the board for 5 of those years. And so, again, I've come to know Lori. But what I really know about Lori is the way that her colleagues speak of her. She is recognized as what we call in the business an instructional leader. And superintendents aren't often viewed in that way, that have teaching and learning at the heart, model it, promote it. And that's the perception of Lori by her colleagues. She's highly respected. And I have an immense amount of respect for Lori as well, and the work occurring here in the Sumner-Bonney Lake School District. We know that over time, over an extended period of time, stellar leadership from the superintendent will result in system change that yields positive results for children and young people. And there is no doubt that that is what is happening here in Sumner-Bonney Lake. Today's superintendency is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage and character to do what is best and right for children, even when that pathway is the most difficult one. But again, 20 years as a superintendent, I know that being a courageous superintendent without the support of the school board, more often than not, does not end well for the superintendent. So I want to recognize and commend all of you, school board members, as leading from the front as necessary, and just as importantly, supporting Lori in her work as superintendent to lead the Sumner-Bonney Lake schools towards excellence. The past few years have been unbelievably difficult for school boards. So I thank you for your service in what is often a thankless endeavor. I hope that you can take a quiet satisfaction in what the 5 of you and your superintendent are doing for kids here in Sumner-Bonney Lake. You deserve it. Last thing I'm going to make mention of is that, again, I've said I was a longtime superintendent, 20 years. I have immense respect for superintendents. I have a deep love and appreciation for the superintendency. I'm now the executive director at WASA, and I have a deep love and respect for WASA and what we stand for as an association. So it matters to me. It matters to me when our superintendent of the year is selected, because it's very important to me personally and professionally that we have an individual as superintendent of the year that represents WASA in the best way possible, but more importantly, represents the superintendency in the best way possible, because it's the best profession on the planet. We have the best people doing the best work. And when we get someone like Lori, who is named our superintendent of the year, who really exemplifies what is best and right about the superintendency, it warms my heart. And so with that, it is indeed my pleasure to represent this award to Washington State's 2024 Superintendent of the Year, your very own Dr. Lori Dent.
So let me continue. It gets better, right? The work I do can only be done through the people I work with, and they know how much I respect and adore them. They work hard, and I'm looking at them, and they're incredibly talented, brilliant people. But I mean, that award right here, it's really about other people, and it's about their work. This award, Washington State School Board of the Year, doesn't happen by accident either. So congratulations on being named the Washington State School Board of the Year. And what we did is actually he took their award and had it made into a nice plaque so that we can hang it up next to other resolutions and proclamations that have been named for you by representatives and Pierce County executive. This is something to be proud of. A lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication. You earned it. And I mean, we've all earned it, right? Joel's right. This is a great place to be. It is a great school district. We love our kids. We love our people. We love our community. And Joel, it's like you walk in the doors and you're part of the family. And that's the way we want you to feel. So, so congratulations on this award as well. Lots to celebrate. We've said before, Bang Parkinson, CFO of the Year. I mean, well done, Bang. I mean, Michelle Lewis. And what you'll find out tomorrow is that Jeannie Larberg has also been named one of the National Educators of the Year. So we keep hitting home runs, I'm telling you. It's a nice place to be. So congratulations.
Sorry. I think you probably make us look really good because we know exactly who does the work. You and your team and the people in the buildings are the ones who really carry out the mission and the work on a daily basis. So thank you for your leadership for this district. The intentionality is unparalleled. Your dedication to kids is unmatched. Your laser focus in doing what's right can't be topped. And so you lead with the head and the heart, and this district is a better place. This community is a better place because of you. So thank you.
Now let's eat.
We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll recess. There are refreshments, I've been told, in the back. Feel free to celebrate and enjoy yourselves for a little bit. We'll come back in how long?
10 minutes maybe?
10 minutes. Eat quickly.
Yes. Thanks for keeping everyone safe and our kids safe every day.
Wonderful. Okay. We'll go ahead and resume with superintendent comments.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, fair. All right. How about board member comments? Anyone like to start? We're gonna,
I guess it's pick on the new guy time. I just want to thank everyone who has made me feel so welcome or re-welcomed, if that's a word, back. This is truly a thrill. And when I chose to run and my family supported me, it was kind of a pipe dream, but I'm very, very excited. And I know the work that Lori leads and the board does. And I'm just really happy to be a part of this group. So thank you.
thanks, Bill. Glad you're here.
Well, it's been a busy time, but I don't believe that we have been able to report back to you at a board meeting on how valuable going to the WASDA conference was. And I was filled with a great deal of pride for a lot of reasons, and it was all very touching. And but I want you to know that I went to two of the greatest presentations by Lori and Bang. And you know what? People were I've never seen that much, conversation around the tables I was at, and they didn't know my connection. And oh, we've got to talk to her. I wonder what they did. How did they raise their low budget or remaining budget up tenfold, basically from 5 million to 50 million. So it was heartwarming in that regard, and I was really pleased to be able to attend that. So
That's so true. And to piggyback off of that, 10 years ago when we started going, Rick really was the one who kind of got us going to these. And I remember I would take a notebook and I would just feverishly write notes of all the learnings and all the little nuggets from all the different districts that we would hear from. And I have to say, this last time, I was like, oh yeah, we actually do that, right? Like, oh, I bet if they talked to Lori, she could help them with that. It was a very, very comforting and kind of confident feeling that, like, man, got this, right? It was a nice shift. So it was a good conference though as well. Paul?
I don't really have anything to report other than, I went to WASDA as well with everybody. It was good. I've tried to make it to as many events as I could as far as PTA things. However, I couldn't make them to any of them because I was volunteering for my daughter's shows. So not much to report over here from me. Thank you.
Yeah, we head into the holidays and much deserved break for the staff and everybody that makes this whole thing work. So I'll just say, thank you to the staff for getting us to Christmas break, and here's to the rest of the school year.
Thank you. This leads us to audience comments. David, do you want to kick us off for that as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The board recognizes the value of public comment on education issues and the importance of involving members of the public in its meetings. Comments from the public are taken under board advisement and may or may not receive action at a future meeting. Topics including charges or complaints against employees, employment or dismissal of personnel, acquisition of real estate, lawyer-client relationships, campaigning, and parameters for negotiations should not be discussed in audience comments. Other information, questions, or problems can usually be addressed by district staff. The audience comment period will end when all registered speakers have been heard. We ask that everyone adhere and understand these guidelines. In order to maintain respect for all points of view, the school board requests no clapping, booing, or any other form of support or non-support. The board will not respond to comments, but will take them under advisement. Speakers should be courteous and professional. Refrain from using profanity, vulgar language, threatening, or defamatory comments. As a reminder, individuals are not permitted to name a specific staff member, board member, or student during public comment. Failure to do so may result in the board president or designee interrupting or ending the comment. The audience comment process is as follows. Only speakers who registered by noon yesterday, December 12th, will be heard. If you're providing in-person public comment, when your name is called, please come up to the podium and state your name. Please address comments to the school board as a whole. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and I will signal you with the bell with 1 minute remaining. Our first audience comment is Kelly Swindle.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to provide comment to the board tonight. I just want to start with, my kids are at Tahali Heights now through a waiver, and we are super grateful for the amazing education they're getting. They love their teachers, they love the curriculum, the STEM, just the opportunities that they have. You know, we really want our kids to be part of this family community that we've heard about so much tonight. With that, in July of this year, the communities of Discovery Park and Tyee Ridge and Bonnie Lake submitted a petition to change school districts from Ording to Sumner-Bonney Lake. On December 1st, we were informed that the school districts had entered into an agreement to deny those petitions. On November 27th, I asked on behalf of the petitioners for public records request for meeting minutes of the meeting between both boards to discuss the petitions that was held on November 1st, 2023. I have not yet received those documents from either district. Neither Ording or Sumner-Bonney Lake has been transparent regarding this meeting, not expanding upon the rationale for denial listed in the agreement. Sumner-Bonney Lake quotes capacity constraints. However, as I understand it, all schools within both districts are at or over capacity. Ording School District states in the agreement that they remain able to serve the residents in the territory subject to the petitions, and that's simply not true. They have tried twice and failed twice to have a bond passed to improve their buildings and increase capacity. Tahali Heights Elementary has a capacity for 550 students with an enrollment of 475 in the 2021-22 school year. Ording Primary School was built for 290 students and currently serves 540. Ptarmigan Ridge Elementary was built for 460 and its enrollment is 660. In our petition, we counted roughly 52 children that would be transferred from Ording to Sumner-Bonney Lake District. We just request transparency in the decision-making process as the numbers just aren't adding up. We would like to see what consideration was made with regard to RCW 28A 315-205 regarding the safety and welfare of pupils and whether geographic accessibility warrants favorable consideration of a recommended change. As you probably already know, we are separated from Ording by the Puyallup River, which just last week was under a flood warning. So our students, our children, would be separated from us geographically if we send them to school and we're separated by a flood or by earthquake or volcanic eruption, rather than just being down the street at the school in Sumner-Bonney Lake.
Thank you. Our next audience comment is Teresa McClymans.
Hello. It was so light, I could not hear you. There's no volume on this. Okay. During this season, I sincerely hope that much peace, unity, and joy comes to you and yours now and in the new year. I ask a simple yet perhaps bold question this evening. I don't expect an answer. I only want to encourage minds and hearts to pause and to ponder. My first question would be this: how much does your faith, your belief, or your religion mean to you? If it means a lot to you, why does it mean a lot to you? And how deeply and often do you think about it? Does it play a role in the way that you go about your everyday life and in the way that you make decisions? Do you think others around you deeply think about their faith? Do you think that faith that people believe down deep are the same or different? I would think that we would agree that they all are often different. And there is a saying marching to a different drummer. To follow your own path and to pursue a life that is true to your deep belief instead of marching to the same drum beat as the others, just to be compliant, just to be in the in crowd. Would it not be better to look back in our lives and know that we live true to our God-given conscience, growing in our faith, our belief, our religion, our ideology, along the way to allow for a legacy that is good and satisfying? to ourselves and to those around us. This would be a good thing. If you walk into a classroom or a coffee shop, is it not wonderful to see people enjoying different books and different drinks? It's a good thing to go into places and to be able to engage in conversations with people who are different. It is wonderful to glean from somebody's conversation and to hear of their life experience that brought them to that place. It's beautiful to be able to shake hands at the end of that conversation and say, hey, good luck to you on your pursuit of happiness. This is acceptance and affirmation at its best. True tolerance acknowledges, accepts, and appreciates others' people's points of view. True tolerance will welcome conversations that spark understanding. Isn't it said that it is better to understand than it is to be understood? Why is the world spinning out of control? Why is common sense ignored and the golden rules seem old-fashioned? It's because the word tolerance has been given an intolerant definition. Let us decide to be free of this and march to a different drum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Our next audience comment is Terry McCoy.
My name is Terry McCoy. Good evening, school board directors and Superintendent Dent. Congratulations, Dr. Dent, on your award. Quite an accomplishment and well-deserved. I want to thank all of you for your desire and dedication to serve the children, young adults, and parents in our school district. What brings a community together? Are the policies being passed in our district encouraging and allowing all kids to achieve success in life by learning the skills they need? Or has education in our district become more focused on ideologies? Here's the Oxford Dictionary definition for ideology. Quote, a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy, unquote. What is ideology in simple words? Quote, an ideology is a set of opinions or beliefs of a group or an individual. Very often, ideology refers to a set of political beliefs or a set of ideas that characterize a particular culture, unquote. What is the simple example of ideology? Quote, they include free market capitalism, communism, religious fundamentalism, and so on. Each example includes a set of beliefs and values espoused by its adherents that are often insulated from critique or examination, unquote. So what ideologies are behind the recent policies passed and curriculums used? How do these policies point all students to cornerstones of freedom of religion, love of family, all students being created equal, a working knowledge of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, while also being surrounded by examples of adults with moral and virtuous character qualities? If our policies do not point all kids in our district to those cornerstones in order to become responsible persons, whatever age they are, why not? Why are kids becoming more confused about their gender? Could it be they are being exposed to or taught lessons that are not age appropriate? Why do students have such low scores in language arts, math, and science? And how do the recent implemented policies impact those scores? Ideology is never neutral. It has an intent, a purpose, and objectives. It seems many students in our district are becoming more frightened, more confused, and mentally unstable. Why is that happening? We do many, many things well in Sumner-Bonney Lake, and I can't underscore that enough. Not that the words, I mean, it was kind of like, but we do, and you particular, and the staff, everybody. Yet how can students be more successful in our district, and what ideologies, behind recent policies need to be reexamined? Thank you.
Thank you. That was our final audience comment.
All right, this brings us to the policy matters portion of our agenda. The district administration recommends the board adopt the following district policies in accordance with policy 1310. Policies 1112, 1440, and 3203. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yeah. Specifically speaking about policy 3203, the prohibition of racial and ethnic harassment, I just want to say thank you to the community members who've been brave enough to reach out and speak to me about the experiences that their children of color are having in our district. I want to thank the staff that has helped guide this policy with their feedback. I want to say thank you to the students that Dr. Dent brought in to also help give feedback and guide this policy. I want to thank Paul and Rick on the policy committee for the work they did to bring this vision to a vote today. And I very much appreciate everybody's effort.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Everybody hear me?
Mhm.
Thanks. And thanks to the community for your patience. It's still not perfect. I don't think any policy is perfect. It's one that needs to get implemented. And I hope over this next year, we'll have some practice with training staff in what it means, how to implement it. And in fact, that's what a lot of the feedback was on. How is this thing going to be implemented? And some of it is because they haven't seen much action in this, discrimination and racial harassment area. Sometimes we think we're doing a good job, but until it comes to light and people ask the right questions and push the right buttons, it doesn't get done. And so over the course of this next year, and I hope we look at this policy again in about a year and get more feedback and evaluate whether it's achieving what we want it to achieve or if it needs more tweaks.
Thanks, Paul. Any further discussion? All right, the motion has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Policies for first reading are included 3141 and 1610, as well as the procedure 3141. All right, business matters. Chief Finance and District Operations Officer, award winner, Bain Parkinson, welcome. I believe you have an update for us.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Board of Directors, Superintendent Dan. Thanks for the opportunity for us to present our department to you. And along with me today, we have Kathy McMahon as our Finance and Accounting Manager. And Amanda Nelson is our Executive Assistant. Sherry Wilcox, Payroll and Benefit Manager. And Jennifer Arches is our financial specialist that handle all the employees' benefit, including all the staff and everything. A lot of work, and I appreciate them to be here. Great team. So let's see, where is our, okay. So you can see our department. This is all the tool we use. Some of them are actual tool, and some of them are perceived to be a tool that we use. So the actual tools of computer, calculators, all those graphic things, we use it every day. But some tools that perceive we can use, I hope that we could, that is a money tree. You can shake the trees and the money going down. I hope that works for us. And then also the magic wand, the hat, and all those are perceived to have. So this is our dream team. Look at that. Halloween, we all dress up, including those who are not attend, we still bring them out. We have a great team. Have a lot of fun too. Work hard, play hard, right? So this is our chart. We have 14 people. We cover everything. All the business manner, all the business transactions, all everything's related to finance is in this group for the whole school district. So we are here not to be average, and we are here to be awesome. So we also follow this guiding principle. If you walk in our business office, you will see each sign on the wall. We hang it up to remind all of us, this is what we will follow when we do our business in the Sumner-Bonney Lake School District. Efficiency, customer services, accuracy, empower people, be a team player, transparency, integrity, and confidentiality. Those are something that we always believe and committed to do for all staff in the business office. Starting from the school district's strategic plan, we know, value, support every student and helping them graduate ready to pursue a promising future. And that's part of our job, even though people do not know that we are not in the classroom, but we are part of it. And we have our business office goal aligned with this to make it happen. So this is 2 goals we set for our office to make sure we do this in order to meet the goal for the district. So we make sure that we allocate our resource based on the strategic plan. That's the alignment there. Another one, we promised that we have to maintain our fund balance above 10%. So goal 1, we accomplished. We did, starting this year, that we have a committee, strategic committee, budget committee, that we review and approve all the budget items that request. We will ask what goal this request is. What is the alignment, and explaining. So it's easier for the committee to review all those budget items that they request. And that's how we align with that. And then also we want to look for outcome. We want to look for the return on investment. We want to see if we allocate this money, what it's going to look like. So you know that Dr. Dents have all those study sections, have all the goal leaders to present where they're at. That's how we measure it. That, you know, their allocation, the fund, and then we have the result. So the goal 2 is we promise that the fund balance above 10%, and we do. And we have been doing it in these several years. So we will introduce this McKinsey 7S framework, and I use it to evaluate our office as an organization within the organization, right? So in terms of structure, in these 5 years, we had done a very good job structure our office so that we accomplished a lot that if we didn't do it, we would not be able to accomplish what we want to do. And strategy, we do have strategy. We have goals set for our office in detail. Every year we have retreat. Every year we set up our goal, and in mid-year we review the goal, and another year then we review what we have done in the previous year. So this is, we already set up every year what we need to accomplish as a department. Then we set up system ever better. We have a lot of systems set up for the business office, a lot of internal control, a lot of systems set up that comply with law and financial regulation. Regulation. And then if you look at the skill, staff, and style, those are the soft skills that we consider need to be improved. We currently short of staff. We have 2 on leave. very important position. So we are hanging in there, doing what we can. These teams just jumping in, do whatever need to be done, regardless their job. And that's how great we are, this team. And the majority of this team, half of them, most half of them, less than 10 years in our office. And most of them is coming from private sector. Those are really hard when you come to finance and accounting. We are working on as a government fund accounting, not the financial accounting like the private sector. So those are totally things. And as Kathy McMahon, she brought with her a really strong accounting background. But when she come to school district finance, she was like, wow, that's very different. So we keep building up their capacity. And of course, the style or the customer service, we are developing a lot, especially, we have Jennifer, payroll, Cheryl, and Amanda. They are really going down to school and helping people. A lot of workshops for people to attend, tons of them. So great team. So this is what we do. A lot of people don't know what we do. Just have a finance, but what is mean by finance? Behind the scene, that's a lot of things. Board policy procedures, we set up a lot about finance, how to operate. And we have a lot of compliance, a lot of regulation, managing a lot of grants, of course, develop the budget and reporting. Like today, I will be reporting to you and also to the state auditors and the OSBI, all those reporting we need to do. And we also do the audits, internal and external. Internal means that we prepare our school building department for external audit, for the state auditor coming in, that they are ready to present. Now we have a lot of accounts payable, accounts receivable, journal entry, cash management. Imagine cash management. We have a lot of cash. Every day, you have to really tie in to penny. That's how they do. And of course, payroll benefit, we serve thousands employees. Every single employee have different needs of their benefit. And that's Jennifer's doing. And then all the procurement, contract review, purchase order, you name it, and risk management, L&I, bargaining, levy and bond management, and all the training that we provide to department and schools. A lot of work. And look at Janet. She's great. She's always represent our district, at the front desk. So just give you a little bit sense how many transactions we have been doing every year. A lot, just for these several people. And we process that many things. That's just some of the examples that we kind of listed out. How many checks we process each year? Payroll and SAP account. All those claim, risk management, transaction, credit cards, a lot. Phone call, wow. Every year you answer, hello, Sumner-Bonney School District, may I help you? That kind of things for 18,000 times in a year. That's Janet's doing. So this is something as a finance and a accounting professional, really a dream come true that we have done for our department. The retirement account reconciled to penny. If we ask around school district, how many school districts can do this? Not many. They still reconcile individual employees' retirement account. That's very important. Because if I retire, if my account being not reconciled, not doing right, that's a problem, right? So this reconciled to the state database. And Tammy did it. And I'm so proud of her. And SAP account Jennifer's reconcile every month. All the balance sheet account, this is my dream come true. Kathy did it. Every account balance it every month. This is just what you can ask for. And investment, oh my God, Meredith's like, oh my God, we make like 3.4 million for this year for the whole all the funds. I mean, how many years we can have this kind of interest rate that high? And rich become richer. When you have cash, you invest in the right way, you get money, more money to help the district. And that's how we maximize our revenue. And fund balance, all-time high. While other districts complaining, I was like quiet, not talking. Because other districts complain about like they don't have money, so they have to cut $1 million. I don't say a word because we don't. We do not have any cut. We maintain what we have, which is very, very fortunate. And we set up a lot of compliance and systems for procurement, grant management, and enrollment projection model is something we should be very proud of and very quite accurate in terms of projection. Then we have staffing model and all the budgeting process and position control. Those are really should be proud of, and it's a really dream come true for this work that we have done. Some things we want to continue grow in our department is build capacity. As I just said that, we have a lot of new people. We encourage them to attend WASPO, take workshop, conference to make sure they are ready, have all the tools to do the job. And internal controls are always a good thing to strengthen. And efficiency is the lean management. We strive for accuracy. That's kind of our guiding principle, customer services, and we train people. Amanda even go down to school and train individual secretaries in school. We get a lot of good feedback from that, and I really appreciate it. Now, we work hard, we pay hard. We always celebrate, we always have food in our office, and we always tell people, come join us, because that's what we are doing. Any question? Thank you for listening. We just have the other day, we have the Monday lunch.
Awesome. Thank you, Bang. Any questions or comments? None from Bill? Deb? No?
Is there another presentation coming
Mhm.
up?
Yeah.
Is it Bang giving it?
Yeah.
I'll hold my questions till then.
I just have to say really quickly, it's really awesome to put faces to the work. So thank you, women, for being here today so that we can put some of those faces to the good work that's happening. So thank you for all that you do. Appreciate it. I didn't check in. Good? Okay. Paul would like you to stand. I'm sure it's your dream come true, but we would like to honor you. So would you stand so we can honor you? Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have the for and against replacement EP&O and tech levy appointments. Welcome, Communications Director Al Warmuth. You're going to present a list of citizens for us that have submitted their names for appointment.
Yes, good evening, board members and Superintendent Dent. As you are aware, we are running 2 levy measures on the February 2024 ballot. We have Proposition 1 is a replacement educational programs and operations levy, and Proposition 2 is a replacement instructional technology improvements and security upgrades levy. The Pierce County Elections Division requires that we appoint persons known to favor the measures to serve on the For Committee, and also appoint persons known to oppose the measures to serve on the Against Committee. We received notice from 3 individuals willing to serve and volunteer on the For Committee for both propositions. They are Jason Bass, Mary Beth Holmes, and Georgia Lomax. The district did not receive an inquiry for anyone wishing to serve on the Against Committee for either proposition.
Thank you. So at this time, we're going to take action on the following recommendation. The district administration recommends the board adopt the For or Against committees as part of the replacement levy for educational programs and operations and the instructional levy improvement security upgrades replacement levy, which are listed as the 2024 election committee appointment form 1 and the 2024 election committee appointment form 2. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Any discussion? Oh, is there a second?
Second.
We're waiting. George's trying to speak up, Bill.
Okay.
No, sorry, that was on me. I'm sorry.
No, that's-
Second, let's just make sure we do it right.
I
Bill,
second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right. We have another presentation. Welcome back, Bang. Our 2022-2023 annual financial report.
About the mic. So this is the agenda. I will go over all small funds first, and then we'll focus more on general funds. Before I move forward, I want to thank the whole business office staff for another great years. And special thanks to the accounting departments, Meredith, Kathy, and Emily. They work very hard to close the book the year end. It's months of work. So this is transportation vehicle fund. As usual, we collect some fund from the state due to the depreciation of those yellow bus. Kind of a routine every year. We get some funds, depreciation fund back to us to buy new bus. And of course, again, when you have cash, you will have investment earning because you invest the money. The reason why we have that much money, because the interest rate is high, and also we did not buy any bus last year. It's not that we did not buy it. We ordered it a year ago. We didn't get it. So the cash is still in the bank. So we have to invest to get more money. Not that we want that. We want a bus, but it's just a supply chain problem. We did not get it. So we end the year for 1 million fund balance. We have to prepare for the bus delivered this year that we ordered last year. So it's a year late. And that's what I try to say here, the same, that we won't get anything. Then debt service fund, we collect 24 million, pay off the debt That's a bond that we pay off, 25.5 million. So we end the year 11.9 million. As I just mentioned, that this is the tax that we collect to pay off the debt. We pay off the principals, 18.4 million. So as of last year, if we finished at the beginning of this year, we still owe 178.2 million in debt. And that's what the debt service funds transactions. ASB, always strong. Look at the fund balance, almost $1 million. Majority of those are those two high school. We collect quite a bit of money. We also spend money, but we end the year quite strong fund balance. And this is kind of a little bit summary in the detail by clubs that you can see that the beginning fund balance, and then we have revenue in and transfer out, how much we spend, and then we end the year with individual club and classes, fund balance of those. Capital project, we have state funding, means that state match for the project that we had done, 11.4 million. And we also spend 1.1 million ESSER fund that get reimbursed. ESSER fund is claim reimbursement. It's not they give you a fund. You have to spend first. And then technology, we collect 4.5 million levy. And look at that interest earning, 1 million. Again, you have cash, you invest, high interest rate, we get a lot of money there. And then we collect some impact fee, E-rate, and some, this is probably our last, that the playground donation. Dr. Dan promised that we'll provide the playgrounds without asking the parents to donate. Sunset Stadium, why is negative there? Basically, the money we collect in capital project fund, but the project we are doing is in general fund. So we just move the money out. That's why you see the negative there. And expenditure, we spend like 35 millions for all the projects that we've been doing in the capital project fund, bond and non-bond project. So we end the year's 20 million fund balance for capital project. Oops. So this is a majority of our money paying for these projects. Of course, the Sumner High School Phase 1, as we wrapping up. And then the Mount View's extension is also wrapping up too. And we do the Bonney Lake High turf track upgrade, and classroom improvement, and also the Bonney Lake High and the Mount View Middle School, the intersections there. We spend some money there, even though it's not finished yet, but we still spend some money that year. Then we have a little bit money on the Lake Ridge queuing. A lot of money is on that ESSER fund for the Daffodil School chiller and HVAC replacement for air quality. That's what we are eligible for the ESSER fund. And then the technology levy projects. Okay, general fund. Total revenues 171 million. And expenditures 163 million. We end a year 49 million fund balance. If you look at 2 years revenue comparisons, the red color is the 22-23. The blue is 21-22. So we collect a little bit more in levy, not much, but the local money we collect more because the interest earning, because of the maybe facility rental, because we dropped a lot during the pandemic, and now it's kind of a restore back a little bit. More people rent our facility and get a little bit more money. Apportionment, of course, we have prototypical fund formula using our enrollment. When you have enrollment increase, you have more money. And even though your enrollment is not increased, your funding is higher because every year they give a little bit more in those IPD and you will calculate it out. And other state grants, a little bit slightly increased, but we lost federal fund. You can see the federal funds decrease. Now this is expenditure comparisons in 2 years. The first columns comparisons are the certificate salary. That's a big increase. And every year we have that increase. Classify as well. And employee benefit also increase. The MSOC side, the supplies and materials kind of not much increase, but the contractual services increased quite a bit because we are short of staff. We contract out. For example, we didn't have the skilled worker like electrician for 2 years. HVAC specialists. We didn't have those people, but we hire in the contractors to come to do the project is triple the price. So that's why the contractual services increase. And we also contract some specialists like in the special ed area and para as well. And you see the capital outlay is a little bit high. We buy a lot of equipment, vehicles, you will see later. So where's the money come from? Majority is coming from the state apportionment, 60%. And then we have levy, a little bit shine 16%. And then the other funds, other grants, state grants is about 14%. So others is small. So the majority is the levy, the state grant, and the apportionment that come up with most of the money for the school district. Where does the money go? As we all know that 86% go to salary, positions, certificate and classifies, and then their benefit. The rest is not much, except that we have a little bit bigger pie in the contractual service we just talked about. That was the increase. So if we have $1, how do we spend? 72 cents of that $1 is for teaching and teaching support. And that's what we do, right? We teach kids and we have teachers and we have all kind of teaching support staff and everything. And then the admin support, including principals, is 13 cents. Transportation is 3 cents. Nutrition servers, 2 cents. And the maintenance support and other supports, 10 cents. So that's how we slice our money for the whole district's operation. So this basically is telling us when you have basic ed, let's say 114 million there, where's the money come from to offset these expenditure? So they have different sources. They have local funding sources, they have state apportionment, they have state grant and federal grant. Then what about the red? That's coming from levy. You have to have levy to pay for it because the state would not give you enough for really operate a district. So levy have to make up the differences. So I want to bring it back to this. Look at the special ed. Last year, if you remember, it was 2.2 million above the revenue, the expenditure we spent. This year's 4.1 million. Double it up. Next year will be higher. Reason why? Show you this. If you look at the green column, that's revenue. The orange is expenditure. The green's never above the orange, means that we spend more than the revenue coming in. That's all special ed. We have to look at the blue line. The blue line is the student count. In pandemic, it dropped a little bit, but suddenly this couple years is going straight up. And in current year, we're above 1,400 kids, special ed. A lot of kids, special ed. We don't know why, but that's a lot. And I anticipate it double the 4.1 million shortfalls current year. And that's all from the levy. General fund balance, yes, we do have 49 million. However, on your left side, all those tied up, no way you can touch it. We talk about this a lot. We have category grants carryover, which is include nutrition services, lab, and CTE. You cannot touch those 1.6 million is theirs. Nobody can touch it except those 3 programs. Then the non-spendable fund balance means that the inventory, all the toilet papers, those are not money. Those are the products. And the prepaid items means that you already pay, but you have not get the goods that you order back. That's why they still have to list it there as a fund balance, because fund balance is your net worth. It's not cash. It's different from your bank balance. It's not cash. Fund balance is not equal to cash. And then all those committed fund balance, I listed all out because you know this. You're very familiar with this, because every line items with a resolution that you approve, that we need to do this project. And it's almost 20 million. Now on this side, assigned fund balance, some of them we're really tied up too, like curriculum, like encumbrance. Encumbrance means that you already have the PO, you have the goods sometimes, but they have not invoiced you. You have to pay them, right? So, and then also we always have major repair replacement facility things that you need. A lot of emergency pipe leaking, all those, you have to prepare as a school district. You cannot let it go without fixing it. So you have to prepare some money for those. Then of course we have to set aside the minimum fund balance, the board policy, 5%. So that's all those combined with the 49 million. Now this is Lori's favorite.
Well, so what I want to do is draw your attention to this slide and to this information, because what I asked Bang to do is to break this down in its simplest form so that you truly get an understanding of what this $49 million means. Because I will tell you that there's a lot to be proud of in this district. But many of us in this room know exactly where we were about 5 years ago with a fund balance that was 4% at best, probably if you strip it down and unpack it, probably closer to 2%. We were struggling in a lot of ways financially. Our cash flow was probably the lowest I've ever seen it. And we had to look at people across the table and say, will you please take 2% for this contract? And we promise we will make you whole when we can. And I can't tell you how awful that feels, but I can tell you how good it feels when you can really negotiate a contract that honors someone's profession. And we worked hard to get where we are financially. So this did not come easily. It took a lot of hard work, but I need you to understand that this 49 million that Bang is talking about, I mean, it's like, if you look at this, if you take 20 out from the committed fund balance that you've already passed through resolutions, I mean, and we are investing a lot of money in capital projects because we took care of our staff. Now we're taking care of the buildings. I mean, because, I mean, there was a time that, I mean, Dave and Marina did all they could, but like some of our buildings just they were neglected. And now it's just feels so good to say, hey, we need a chiller. I don't even really know what that is, but it's just so good to say we have enough money to buy one, right? So that people don't freeze to death. They don't they're not sweating. I mean, I told somebody today, I'm going to go to transportation this summer and I'm going to sit with a parka and just enjoy the air conditioning, right? Because like last summer it was 90 degrees where they work. So you have set aside around $20 million through board resolutions. The restricted fund balances that Bang was talking about, CTE, child nutrition, LAP, can't touch it. The inventory prepaid items, the land purchase. We're buying a piece of land up into Holly for a new school. Can't wait. We're paying cash, sort of cash. I mean, it's cash.
It is cash.
Yeah, we're buying it at today's price, which is fantastic to our taxpayers.
It's the best time to buy.
Yep.
And you have money. You are the winner.
So really, when you take all of that away from that 49 million, we have about $19 million in our fund balance, which is about 10%. Because I don't ever want to go back to where we were. That was a tough time around here.
So painful.
And we also want to make sure that we have enough money in the bank to make payroll.
Absolutely.
As payroll here is about 10 to 12 million a month,
Yep.
depending.
Yep.
So we need, Bang knows that I like it anywhere between 8 and 12%, because that gives us enough to make payroll and have a little bit of a rainy day fund in case something happens. But this is really, I mean, when you unpack that fund balance, so it's nice to say you have 49 million, but really what we have is 19 million because we have a lot of projects that still need to be paid for. You've restricted some of the money, and I just need people to understand that we're not just sitting on a stockpile of money that we don't have a plan for.
Now this 20 million is a one time. It's gone, right?
So
is the
good
7
point,
million.
Bang. When this money is
Gone.
gone, it's not coming back.
Right. So you can see that in November, we transfer the money for 50 million out.
Right.
You will see that it's no longer for 40 something, it's 3 something.
Yeah.
30 something. So it's gone.
Right. And like Bang said, our board policy is 5%. So that's a little bit more than board policy. But again, we can make payroll with that.
Yep.
Which, thanks. I mean, I appreciate my paycheck.
Ideally, that GFOA would suggest that we have 2 months of payroll in your fund balance. But, you know, I don't think any school district have that. So let's talk a little bit about our highlights in the 2022-23, right? Enrollments grow, not this year, but last year we did grow. And we purchased 3 maintenance trucks, 1 dump truck with snowplow and sand spreader to get ready for the winter. I mean, in the past, we didn't have it. We closed the school. We don't have it. No money to buy it. Now we do. We have to prepare for it. And we purchased a food service delivery truck, beautiful trucks. And we also buy 4 technology vans to deliver all the Chromebook and go down to support the schools. Then we also buy CTE's forklift simulator. And that is, we bought one this the 22-23 and one in 21-22. So that's great for the CTE program. And we have so many repair, replacement, facility projects that we have done a lot, but it still continues doing that because we have that lineup and we have only 1 Marina and 1 Dave. Our current challenge, not that all great things happen, but we also have something that we are dealing with right now. I want to just share with you. Labor shortage. When we contract out triple price, we prefer to have our staff, but we cannot hire them. Nobody applied for job. Bus driver, we are short 20 bus drivers. We have double bus run. Guess what? When you have double bus run, you drop off the kids early, pick up late. You have to have adult supervision. That is money going in. We prefer to trace that money for drivers. the kids do not need to wait that long, right? And also, without bus driver, we have to pay for charter bus, triple the price. Very expensive. Athletic, we get a big hole in that charter bus. That's nothing we can do because we just keep hiring, but it just keep retiring. It's like rotate. And then para educators the same way is shortage and sometimes can have to contract out because there's no people apply for it. Especially her special ed paras need some skill. And then of course we just talk about the electricians and the HVAC specialists. We can't hire anybody. So we contract out. We have several contracts, have company come in, but we pay per wages. Imagine that. That's a lot of money. That's why I'm talking about triple the money. Custodian, we are not too bad right now. We still have several positions, but it's not too bad. But then inflation, everybody feel the pain of inflation. I mean, when you go to the grocery store, you feel that. You go to the gas pump, you feel that. And so as school district. Supply chains, we talk about generators and we talk about a yellow bus. Generators for like a year. We have not get anything yet. Marinas buying the one for support services, that is the old surplus one that you can get it fast because people selling it. And that's what we get, that one. But the fall for schools, we're waiting. She ordered for a long time already, and we still don't get it. And substitute costs us increase, of course, because we don't have enough staff, and we pay for substitute. And of course, when you hit the 630, we will pay staff for that. Regardless, they need it or not, you still pay our share. And of course, classroom space. We're short. We don't have enough space. We buy portables. And we prefer to have a good space for kids rather than portable, but that's the only choice we have right now. Any question? It didn't show what it looks like. Technology. Anyway, do you have any question for me?
Thank you, Bang. Any questions? Oh.
Bang, I've asked this question before in the past, and you had made a statement that the GAO recommends 2
GMOA.
months. Okay.
2 payroll. 2 payroll means that to us probably 23, 24 million, just for payroll in case.
Right.
But school district, funding so limited, is really hard. I don't think anybody get that.
And I understand that, but that policy is 5%. Is it time to look at that policy and get it to a safe level or a safer level?
So if you put the policy, whatever percentage, what if we cannot make it? We're still not reaching the policy. So it will make us report negative fund balance.
Well,
because
we've
your
done that before,
policy,
though.
let's say if you have 12% total and you take out all those other stuff and you still have like 6%. If you increase to, let's say, 8%. So your 6% is not enough to cover the 8%. Then you put the 8% in that category, but then your others will be negative. You don't want to show this in the OSBI or the state auditors because they will come after you with that.
So the question is then, how do we get it into a policy that gets it to a safe level gradually so that it's not triggering OSPI to get angry?
Yeah, I don't see the policy will help with the fund balance because there's the operational side. is triggered by all the revenue and all the expenditure to get to the fund balance, right? Even though, like I said, that whatever percentage you set, if you cannot make it, you cannot make it, regardless. That's what I believe, but
Well, and I understand. I think you do a great job, and I think we're in the position we're in because of your team and you really watching the dollars and the costs. So thank you. I was going to highlight a lot of what Dr. Dent highlighted. I want to go back to, slide 10 and just say how much I appreciated it.
Next one?
No, one more. Page 10. It was 10 on the bottom.
10. So
There was one where it lists out all the different categories. It's
the fund balance?
Yeah,
Ending fund balance,
yes, the ending fund balance. It has a 10 in the, on my slide, it's got a 10 in the quarter.
Here.
There, right there.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love this slide because it does list out everything in common English. I think we can all remember where we would see a variation of this slide and all it had was accounting codes on it. And we requested a lot of times, hey, can we get this in common English? This, I think, is terrific because the board can read it, the community can read it, our union groups can read it. So if anybody says, well, we need more money for this, well, okay, we can look at this list of items and say, well, which one of these items are going to go in order to make room for that? Because it always comes down to prioritizing. And to me, when I see this, it shows the priorities of the school district and that we're planning ahead so that we're not in a financial hole. And that kind of gets back to my first question. How do we make sure we never end up like we were back 5 or 6 years ago? I mean, that was brutal. Wasn't pleasant for anybody. Wasn't pleasant for the employees, especially the ones that were laid off. So I'm glad we're not going through the problems that other school districts are right now, but it can happen. And I mean, I'm glad you've got us in a great spot. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll try our best to monitor the budget. And we have great people in our office and appreciate that.
Absolutely. Kevin, question? Okay. Thank you, Bang, for your presentation and all your work. We are in a good spot and we appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we have 2 budget status reports listed for information only for September 2023 and October 2023. Next up, number 6 on the agenda, the Sumner-Bonney Lake Education Association school year calendar. The district administration recommends the board adopt the 2024-2025 school year calendar. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Can I just say, I was glad to see 3 snow days on there. Did I see that right?
Yes.
You did see that right.
Oh, thank you guys. It's nice to see those back.
And we can use our snow plows that we bought. You know how happy that snow plow makes me. Dave Cutts does, but 3 snow days just for you, Paul.
Awesome. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We have the second reading for the instructional material, Cognity, IB Business Management. The administration recommends the board adopt this instructional material for IB Business Management. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We have an item up for first reading this evening. Is Steve here to do? Oh, Cassie, welcome. It looks like True and Way, ASL.
Aaron, just a second. I'm gonna excuse myself.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. We made
Yep.
it through the voting, so
Yep.
apologies, but I gotta run.
Absolutely. Safe travels. Thanks for sticking around. And congratulations. Thanks, Cassie.
Good evening, school board and Dr. Dent. I'm excited to announce that we're bringing ASL back to the Sumner-Bonney Lake School District. It is currently being piloted at Bonney Lake High School. The resource you have in front of you, True and Way ASL, is an online resource that you should have the links to explore as you'd like. And the big thing is that we're just excited to expand the world language program at Bonney Lake High School by adding another world language of ASL. Erin Tommen, also just a little tidbit, is working to also make it a CTE course offering as well. So that's in progress as well. So let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome, thank you. Any initial questions? All right. Yeah, that's exciting. Good work. Thanks, Cassie. All right, also for information only is first reading for the title of History Alive, the World Through 1750. Welcome, Catherine Elliott. Hi.
So our goals within this committee align with various elements of the strategic plan, creating a dynamic learning environment, nurturing engaged and empowered students, and cultivating academic and critical thinking.
It's all good. It's all good.
I thought it might not have been on. Okay. Is it on now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is the first of 3 curriculums we will be presenting in the coming years as we update our middle school scope and sequence to align with OSPI as well as neighboring districts. Currently in 6th grade, we teach US history, Constitution through about the Civil War, but OSPI recommends that the content focus for 6th grade is actually ancient civilizations. So in the secondary instructional services department, we're kind of reformatting how we introduce our social studies curriculum. So US history, starting in the 26-27 school year. So we have some planning to do, but that's where US history will be if all goes according to plan for 8th grade. So the need for a new curriculum stems from the outdated social studies materials adopted in 2011, which was for US history, which has led to inconsistency in teaching practices district-wide. So the state also updated our social studies standards in 2019. So we needed to identify new priority standards for better vertical alignment. So we had a dedicated committee featuring teachers, both brand new and veteran, as well as our highly capable TOSA. We had middle school and district administrators on this committee, as well as 2 parents. And we worked collaboratively to create a common vision using both student and teacher survey data. We identified 6 priority standards and we reviewed 3 curriculum options, and then coming to TCI History Alive. The chosen committee members represented a diverse cross-section of our school community. After a thorough evaluation using a common rubric, which featured components like instructional supports, usability, and evaluation of bias, the committee recommends TCI History Alive for a variety of reasons. Specifically, its ability to engage students, it's in the title, it's Teacher Curriculum Institute History Alive, and that's good for our 6th graders. And the ease of lesson design for teachers, especially since in 6th grade, our social study is blocked with ELA. So there's not everybody who teaches 6th grade social studies is social studies minded, and alignment with our created vision. So it features relevant simulations. There's a lot of differentiation for both above and below grade level. And we're just really excited for you to preview it. So thank you for your time and support. If you have any questions, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you for the information. Look forward to previewing it. And nice job. Patience. Hanging in there to the end. Thank you. All right. And also, Marina Tanay, welcome. Great to hear from you again this evening. You always get kind of put last, don't you? You get to just...
Sometimes I think I'm comic relief. Not a very funny topic. So thank you, Board of Directors, Dr. Dent, for allowing me to present tonight about Clean Buildings Performance Standard. Yeah, it sounds just, yeah.
Thank you, Marina.
And it's not custodial cleaning standards. Okay. I do want to recognize the Sumner-Bonney Lake Energy Team. For the past 2 years, that energy team has been fairly small, consisting of Mr. Cutts, myself, our climate fellow, and our technicians. I went to Dr. Dent this year and got her recruited to sign a charter for us to expand that team. And we have a member from Human Resources, from the business office, and Robin from technology. So we are really branching out, and you'll see why. Want to explain to you what the Clean Buildings Performance Standard is, talk about what the requirements are for compliance and what our next steps are. Don't be afraid. It's not, it looks like a lot, but so many people are familiar with what happened in 2019 with Governor Inslee's climate package. Everybody talks about cap and invest. See headlines about gas prices, things like that. Another component was electric vehicles, increasing the speed that we convert to electric vehicles, as well as the electrification of our infrastructure in the state. Another component that has not received quite as much attention, I think, in our world is the Clean Buildings Performance Standards. There's 2 phases, and basically all of our buildings now are affected. Tier 1 are those buildings that are above 50,000 square foot, and Tier 2 are below 50,000 square foot. I do think that Bonney Lake Elementary will move to Tier 1 because even though the square footage of the school is below 50,000, we have to include the portables because they're part of a campus all on the same meter. So we won't escape on that one. There are different implications for each tier, and we'll talk about those. So the difference, again, I said buildings greater than 50,000 square foot in Tier 1, they have to comply with the full performance standard. The compliance is phased, starting with buildings over 220,000 square foot in 26, buildings 90 to 220 in 27, and under 90 in 28. The rules are in the WAC and have been firmly established, and there are penalties if we don't comply. So Tier 1 has the higher penalty of $1 per square foot plus a $5,000 administration fee. There's also a fee just for filing our compliance documents of about $1,500. So we're going to incur that regardless. Tier 2 buildings, 20,000 to 50,000 square feet, must comply with all requirements except the energy target. Their compliance date fits in with the 90,000 to 220,000 square foot buildings in 2027. Those rules will be completed this month and adopted, and the penalty is lower for non-compliance at 30 cents a square foot. It's a lot. So everything talks about targets. Targets take the total energy consumed by a building in the form of BTU, and then divides it by square footage. So, when we look at that, we look at the total consumption, the calculations are done, that tells us, gives us target number, and then we compare it to the targets that have been set for us. So to be in compliance, we have to be at our target, at or below our target for a full year before the compliance date. So even though that initial compliance date is 26, it's really 25. So we are hurtling full speed towards compliance for at least one of our buildings. The established targets are 48 for high schools and 49 for middle and elementary schools. I don't know why, but that's where they're at. If we can't meet our target by the compliance date, then you can go an investment criteria path, which is a level 2 ASHRAE audit of all of the systems in your building. And then at the end of that audit, you're provided a list of energy efficiency measures, and that there's obviously a square foot cost for that audit. And then the requirement is those measures that are cost effective must be implemented. So there's some strategy involved and some thought process. That's why we're expanding our energy team, because we really need to have a very focused strategy going into this. And I just threw in a quick slide to kind of show that there's so much to this as far as forms for the state. This is administered by the Department of Commerce. And the energy management plan is something that we're looking to do as a committee, that is a district-wide plan that can be adopted and then tailored to each individual building for reporting purposes. And the O&M program is another big thing. It is what it says. It's operations and maintenance. So every piece of equipment that uses electricity or energy is covered in that plan and enumerated in that plan. It's really fun. And here's just another quick visual on the timeline for compliance to reiterate what I had said and kind of show you where buildings fall for this. So where are we at? We currently only have 2 buildings below target, Liberty Ridge and Crestwood. Great, happy little buildings. They're performing like champs. We have a number of buildings that are just riding the bubble. So we continually are looking at our consumption, at our schedules, at all of the things that might be going in and affecting those numbers, and working to find low and no cost measures that we can put into place to help affect those. We meet every 3 weeks as a team in the department, and we talk about what the problems are in the building, identify issues that might be affecting the energy use, and work to make those changes. So another slide I wanted to show, I updated this yesterday, sorry. But really, what are we talking about? In a 5-year cycle currently, it's nearly $2 million in penalties if we do nothing. So, and this compliance period comes back every 5 years. So this isn't a one and done. And this is also a situation where those targets may be reduced as time continues to continually hold our feet to the fire, so to speak, to keep our buildings as efficient as we possibly can. And it's going to take all of us. So what have we done so far? Well, we've done a lot, believe it or not. COVID was a great opportunity to benchmark the buildings. And so I can say I spent a lot of time in data, getting all of our information into Energy Star Portfolio Manager, which is the reporting program platform for clean buildings. And then I actually talked with now director, Mr. Bill Gaines, I think, about the commercial strategic energy management plan, and took that to Lori for approval. And so I'm happy to have James Rowe. He's our energy engineer for PSE. And they've been an incredible support for this district in the past 3 years. Incredible support. We have a really strong relationship on all levels with the all of the account managers and engineers at PSE to support us. As a team, we took a deep dive into Lake Ridge, and we had a serious impact on consumption at that building, which we're really proud of. We've audited every set point in every building and all of our building schedules, and created an audit document so we can keep track of where we are in comparison to what we're supposed to be at per our stated policy. We do have the interactive dashboard on energy dashboard on our staff dashboard. So you can go in and see what where we are in relation to those targets. You can also look building by building and see what energy consumption looks like in the district, as well as what our how our resources go to water, garbage, recycling, natural gas, electricity for each building. And that obviously we have our regular team meetings, and we'll continue to do so. I am proud of the relationship that we have built with PSE, and I put in some numbers here for what we've done in the first 2 years of our program for commercial strategic energy management. And then on the other side, outside of that realm, we've also had a great partnership and been able to leverage other grants available. So the Lake Ridge parking lot light replacement was funded in part by PSE. We should be getting a check later this month for a pool lighting replacement that was also partially funded by PSE. And then one of the, I think it was our account manager or the gal that's over the CSEM program, CSEM, came to me and talked to me about climate fellowship. And so that has been, I can't even express what a big value that project has been. Last year we had a climate fellow for 10 months, and she did an incredible amount of work, incredible support for the whole department. And McKinstry hired her before her fellowship was up. And now I hear she's on the team that's supporting Puyallup School District and doing everything that we taught her here. This year we have another fellow. Her name is Mariah, and she is also doing amazing work and is a huge support. Mariah is the one that on a day-to-day basis is in our HVAC systems, changing schedules for events and troubleshooting and working with techs to make sure we're identifying things that need attention. So the Climate Fellowship Project has just been valuable, and I'm very grateful for it. And then also, I know I've spoken to the board in the past about that indoor air quality project that we did where we recommissioned all of the buildings. And I had pushed the team to see if we were eligible for any grant money because I knew PSE had commissioning grants. And so we are going to be receiving grant money. I'm hoping next month we get to bring that to the board, and next month or the month after, we'll see. But I'm very proud of that project. We've done amazing work with that, and it's had a really good result. So where do we go from here? As I said, we can't do this alone, and we can't just do the same thing we've always done. We're making great strides to getting there, but we are committing to going the next step so we can hit what we need to do. I don't know if anyone's looked at our board policy for energy. 1981. I know what I was doing in 1981, and it wasn't thinking about this stuff. So our expanded energy team is doing a deep dive into other policies that other districts are adopting and what ours currently says, and we plan to bring to the Policy and Procedure Committee some proposed new policy and procedure for energy. We're also, as I said, going to develop and implement a district energy management plan that then we can customize for each building and submit to Commerce. We're also going to work on developing a strategic plan relating to our compliance, because we really have to be strategic in how we use our resources. That's part of the reason why it's so beneficial to have someone from the business office in that, to have tech, to have HR, because these affect all of us, and we have to be unified in our approach and have some meat to the plan that we put in place in order to be successful. We will hit a point where we need to have a consultant work with us. I can't submit to Commerce myself. I can be the person here in the district that does the stuff, but I'm not an engineer. I don't have that degree behind my name to submit to Commerce. So we will have to work with someone to validate our work and prepare the forms for the final submittal. And I'm sure that as we develop and implement some projects that we will incorporate some consultants or engineers and contractors to work with us on that. But the biggest thing for us is to continue that analysis of data. We plan, we put into action, we check, and then we make changes as needed, because we have to get there. I know that there is talk of legislation to change some clean buildings things, but in my experience in speaking with legislators and in the different things that I've been involved in these past few years, I'm not seeing movement. And City of Seattle has had this program in place for years. There are other jurisdictions across the country that have had this program in place. Ours is it's a step above for Washington State. It's kind of how we do things in Washington. So it's a critical point of the whole climate package. And so it's something that, I think we take seriously and we plan for, so that it costs us the least amount, and also so that we can save money in our utility budget that then can be in the general fund for other purposes. So thank you. And any questions?
Kind of for clarification, so I know how this works. I'm gonna explain how I think it works, and then you correct me. How's that sound? So you have a building, and it uses X amount or X amount of BTUs
Mhm.
a day. Does it go, or in a year, right?
Over the course of the year,
In the
yes.
course of a year, and then they take the square footage of that building, and then they say, oh, it's not meeting the energy requirements per square foot. Is that how it works?
Kind of. We have to demonstrate compliance at or below the target for a full year. So that analysis is taking place not just at a single point of time. It is a continual check and rebalance through the course of the year to be at or below our target.
But it's kind of a square footage target, correct?
The square footage does play into it, yes.
Yeah. And I'm getting that, so I kind of understand. When I look at these two elementary schools that are way below the threshold, the first thing that comes into my mind is, well, those are schools that probably aren't getting utilized by the community every single night because, so the lights are off, it's all kind of locked up. And these other buildings are getting utilized almost 24/7, which increases the heat, increases the light. People leave the door open, which also increases the heat. So I just, it's like, well, solving some of this problem it could be simple, but not fun. What you're trying to do is come up with how do we maintain all the fun and the community outreach and have people using our buildings and then come and still meet these requirements. That's a tall task, and my hat is off to you. Good luck. Because I don't want to spend $2 million every 5 years in penalties.
Right.
I just, to me, a simple formula like that does not equate to really all the good things that are happening and enrichment. And when schools districts are struggling with money issues, to have something like this is it's difficult for me to swallow. So
yeah, and so one thing with the target, what we've found and learned as we're going through this process is that operational hours have a role. The definitions are challenging. They are about how the hours that your building is open to the public. So Crestwood, Liberty Ridge, we do have a lot of programs, especially in Liberty Ridge, but both of those schools have right at school programs. They're open to the public from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day of the week. I believe those programs operate in the summer. So we will do a deep dive and an analysis to see what their after hours building use is on top of that right at school usage. And then from there are thresholds for hours. So if we are above the base threshold, then you change your factor and your target goes up. So there is some parity in the whole formula for buildings that are operating extended hours. So that's one of the projects we have, is to really try to average out on an annual basis how many average hours per week our buildings are open to the public. And then that will change those targets that you see right now. I'm just one person, and I do have a climate fellow, but she's one person too. So we are trying to work through some of those things together. She only started in August, so she's had to get a fire hose for the last couple of months to get up to speed. So, but we're working on that because that is an important piece to me also, is to get the correct target for our buildings.
So the other thing that Marina knows that most of you know about is we also have a capital facility advisory committee that's also working together to put together a bond package. And I know that there have been discussions on that committee about this clean energy, but this is great information to take back to that committee as they prepare a package for the board to consider and a bond recommendation that we can hopefully run next year sometime soon, because we do need to rebuild. We do need to keep maintaining our buildings. But I mean, Marina, that's another layer that we can, really think about adding on to this type of work. So
Right. And just another thing, when I talk about low and no cost measures, we changed the policy in the maintenance department for light bulb replacement. So every time we need to replace bulbs, we're replacing with LED. You know, we can't, it's hard to do a project like that district wide all at once. So we're taking little bites of the elephant because it's important. And over time, we can go LED for the whole district. Even if it takes us time, it's still going to have a benefit. So we're looking for those low and no cost, and hoping that the bond might include some energy efficiency funding as well.
You had said it's all of the electricity, correct? So it's the stadium lighting, the field lighting, the parking lot lighting? No? Good.
No.
Okay.
No, it is really buildings and campuses. So if you, and we just did this analysis, Mariah and I last week, we looked at the Sumner High School campus and said, will having phase 1 as part of the campus reduce our energy target? Really didn't. So phase 1 on its own meter can be its own building, and then the rest will be Sumner High School campus. It has to be thermally connected to be considered part of that. I mean, the campus, I think they don't have to be thermally connected, but the main building, it does. So portables, if we have them, would be included. But really, Sumner High School campus, the pool is separate. And we can separate the energy use from the pool. Bonnie Lake High School, we can do that with the Performing Arts Center, but that main building and every part that's thermally connected would be part of that. But no parking lots, no stadium lights, even though we're working to make all those LED as well, because it's, it saves the district money and also saves maintenance.
Well, that was good news, and I'm glad you're working on it. Thank you.
It's a big project. Holy moly. A lot of moving pieces in this district. A lot going on. Good work. Thank you. Okay, included for information only, Kelly Den has provided the school improvement plans, which are detailed maps that fulfill the district's promise to know, value, and support every student, helping them graduate ready to pursue a promising future. Next on the agenda is board discussion. Does anyone have a topic for discussion this evening? We'll start down here this time. Paul?
I don't have a topic for discussion, but I forgot to say great job on the presentation you gave and the slides very informative slides. That was a lot of information, and you did a great job presenting it. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other topics for discussion?
Well, first of all, thank you as I'm learning to read people's eyes and motions, so I know what the heck's going on up here from this side. I just want to, when Marina came to me, gosh, what was this, 4 or 5 years ago now? It seemed overwhelming. And as I listened today, it seems like they've taken something very overwhelming and probably is a bit still, but really started to attack it and put it into workable bits, which I really, really appreciate. The other thing, going back in history, I know that we have some inefficiencies and things that were neglected for years. And I really want to thank David Cutts, who put in programs to make sure that we're going in and doing maintenance, we're doing ongoing work, assessing what we need. That hadn't been done. And I know we have some buildings that have some inefficient systems, and that really is going to be important when we get, in my opinion, when we get to the bond work that we have to do and taking those things into consideration. Spent some quality time with maintenance and operation, cleaning up after floods and such. And those things have really, really been tightened up. And I think we're just making great progress, but there's more to come, I'm sure. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Bill. Deb?
I just also wanted to thank Marina for sorting to help orchestrate the facility planning committee for the future. And I haven't been able to go to a lot of those meetings lately, but I'm hearing some just really great things. And I'm excited to see what's going to be presented to the board when it comes time for the bond. And oh boy, we need to pass that really badly. So it'll be good news, I'm sure.
Thanks, Deb. Speaking of committees, something for the board to be thinking about, the end of a year and the beginning of a new year might be a good time to reflect on the committees that we're serving on and see if that's a place where we still feel like that's a good fit, or if maybe we want to branch out and try something new. And also remember that there is no requirement for us to serve on any committees as well. So I know that we do that because we value the work and we want to be involved and hear and see the great things that are happening. But there's no expectation to do that. But at the same time, we do have some committees that are doing amazing things, and it's really great to have a board representative on those at times as well. So maybe be thinking about that, where you might want to serve on that, if at all. And we'll talk about it, I think, next month, possibly. Okay. Anything else for board discussion? All right.
Can I make one quick announcement? So we end this meeting on a great, positive, awesome note. Ernie Hecker, stand up. Want to introduce you, Ernie. Just want to introduce Ernie Hecker formally to the board. He's our new custodial manager. It was a position we had prior to our budget issues, and it's a position that we are so excited to have back. Ernie is a superstar in this district, and we've stolen from Lake Ridge. And now he is he oversees all of our custodians, and we are like almost fully staffed. So exciting. And Ernie is leading that charge under the supervision of Dave Cutts. So he's part of that whole team now. And Ernie, we couldn't be happier to have you on that team. So thank you. Except for this lanyard you're wearing, I don't know, but you know. Oh, I won't forget that, Ernie. So welcome.
Thank you for being here, Ernie. Nice to meet you. All right. We have our next board meeting scheduled for Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. Oh my God. It'll begin 6 p.m. here in the central office boardroom. Our meeting is now adjourned. Happy holidays. Nice.